New evidence has emerged of Man City's apparent financial fair play breaches between the ongoing Premier League investigation into the club. Just to give you an idea of some of the money that Man City have spent since Guardiola, this might shock a lot of you, or maybe not actually. Since Guardiola took over from Manuel Pellegrini in 2016, City have spent in excess of £750 million. The Mail on Sunday also says the club increased their shirt sponsorship money. City invoiced shirt sponsor Etihad £12 million in 2010-11, when it was in fact £4 million. Football Leaks claimed City hit its owner investment in sponsorship fees in 2018 as well. Let's welcome in Dan Matthews, Daily Mail reporter, the only reporter allowed in the courtroom last week Tuesday. This is obviously still ongoing as well. Dan, bring us up to speed exactly what happened in the courtroom.
Hi guys. Well, it's all got very, very messy and very, very convoluted. So the court case was actually last month, end of June, and that all related into basically the publication of the legal challenges that Manchester City have brought against the Premier League in relation to the ongoing case, which we know has been going on for over 2 years. And essentially they were both on the same side at this point, because neither of them wanted details of these legal challenges, which had ended up in the High Court coming out. A judge ruled against them, ruled that she decided that her judgment should be published. City appealed that, and the Mail on Sunday got wind of that appeal at the last minute. We managed to using a barrister, persuade them to let us in on the basis that we wouldn't publish anything that we heard or saw until these three of the most senior judges in the British legal system, dismissed City's appeal and published the judgments, which were handed down in March.
Dan, I guess simple question to kick things off here. Why has this taken so long? We're talking about the shirt sponsorship deals back in 2010. And B, if City have done no wrong here, why are they trying to block this and keep it a secret?
Well, the first question, is a very good question. So few details of the actual Premier League investigation have ever come out. We know it's going on. We know it's been going on since December 2018, but actually exactly what Man City are accused of, exactly what the Premier League are looking at is very, very unclear, because neither party has really given any details on that. And in terms of why it's taken so long, I think Man City have fought this at every turn in terms of they were asked to hand over some documents. They weren't. That led to the Premier League starting an adjudication against them to force them to hand over documents. And that when they then lost that, they then challenged that adjudication on the basis of apparent bias, and that the Premier League basically didn't have adjudication to rule on this. And that's when the wheels started turning, and it ended up in the High Court and ended up with us being allowed in. It's all in some ways side skirmishes to the actual investigation, which we don't know when it's going to end. We actually know very little detail about what's being investigated. And so it's impossible to say what the outcome will be, or even, when that will be. But the judges were very scathing of the investigation, the fact it's dragged on for so long. And they made the point that in that time, Man City have won 2 Premier League titles. So perhaps it will be wrapped up quicker now. Who knows? It's all so up in the air, because it's all still so unclear exactly the finer details of that Premier League investigation.
City fans will be listening to this now, not just City fans, all fans of all clubs in the Premier League, and they'll be asking, okay, what's worst case scenario here for City if they are found to have breached financial fair play and inflated their sponsorship deals and money coming into the club? What are we talking here? Are we talking points being deducted? Are we talking a massive fine, a slap on the wrist? I mean, worst case scenario here, and obviously this is a bit of hyperbole here, but are we talking Premier League titles revoked? What are we saying?
It's so difficult to say, because as I said, we still know so little about exactly what they're accused of, and therefore what they could be found guilty of or could be completely exonerated for. If worst case scenario, you think they would be looking at heavy fines and possible points deductions in terms of Premier League titles revoked. I think that would be that is probably unlikely, but again, it's so difficult to say, because at the moment we know so little about the investigation. It's no closer to being finalised as far as we're aware, and therefore any scenario is still open. It could be that Man City hand over these documents and they're completely cleared and everything carries on as normal. It could be that they hand over the documents and they're found guilty and then it's anyone's guess as to what they're found guilty of, and therefore what punishment will be handed out.
Dan, not many people, not many journalists were even in the know about these court cases actually even going on. Hence why, obviously, you were one of the only ones there. How did the Daily Mail find out about this?
So it was the Mail on Sunday's Nick Harris got wind of the appeal in April. So he was one of a couple of journalists who got wind. There was a story in the New York Times about it as well. But in terms of the actual details of why Manchester City and the Premier League were in court and why they were, in front of judges, no one really knew. And that was kind of the issue. Is even when we turned up to the court on June the 30th and our barrister fought for us to be able to listen in, we didn't really know exactly what was going on behind those doors. We didn't really know the exact details. And it was a case of once we got in, trying to join some of the dots based on what we're hearing and what we saw. It's been kept so under wraps. And the slightly peculiar thing in this situation is that both the Premier League and Man City, even though they're, essentially at loggerheads over this investigation, by the time the judge ruled that it should be published, they were on the same side. Neither of them wanted this to be out there. And that's a slightly curious thing about this. It was a compromise struck between the two parties that the Premier League would essentially agree to keep everything under wraps, but they would retain the right to, if this ever became an issue with another club, they could use this as an example to fight their corner. And the judges were very, very scathing about that and said, they said it was fatal effectively to Man City's appeal that they'd struck this compromise with the Premier League.
It's going to be interesting to see the reaction of other Premier League clubs as well. So you think of Chelsea, who obviously had to go through a couple of transfer windows, not being able to buy players for breach of financial fair play. They're not going to be happy to hear this information either.
No, I don't think so, because they're probably saying, hey, we want a level playing field. If we've been found guilty but got out of it. Manchester City, UEFA had a situation with them as well. Yep. So, they just about got out of that as well. So I don't know what's going to happen. I think, you need to know all the information. It's a little bit difficult to kind of it's rocky kind of surface to kind of.
Well, they don't want us to know all the information.
I know, but sooner or later it will come out, and then we can really fully kind of understand the whole picture. And I think that's the case. It's very hard to retrospect things. Everybody likes, you find out later on down the line, but I feel it's all about going forward. Let's sort it out. We don't want this happening again. I think in football's, there's so many corners, so many dark corners in football that people don't want to know about. So I think going forward, let's see what happens in the court and hopefully everything comes out so then everybody can, assess it.
Dan, a couple of quick questions just before I let you go. The first one, why are the Premier League here? Look, they're not exactly protecting Man City, but why is it in the Premier League's interest for this information not to come out?
It's a good question. I suspect part of it is that, this investigation's been going on for 2.5 years, and that was an agreement that a kind of compromise that they struck with City, and perhaps it was simply, they saw it as if that helps to move the investigation along and to actually help, then find some resolution, then perhaps, it's effectively a deal worth doing. But it's worth pointing out that the part of the reason that they wanted this under wraps is because Man City argued in court that having a fair trial and having a fair investigation without more arbitration and more legal wrangling was going to be much, much harder if there was lots of press speculation about what was going on. So, they basically, part of the reason they wanted to keep it under wraps, beyond it coming out that they've made all these legal challenges against the Premier League, accusing their arbitration of, lacking impartiality. They argued in court that the reason that this shouldn't be published is this is a private investigation, a private arbitration between two private companies. And, if it comes out, all the details, then it just makes it harder for them to strike a resolution. But the judges didn't agree with it.
Interesting.
I think also they're looking at the brand, the Premier League brand. They don't want it to kind of be tarnished. I think that's definitely in the equation.
Yeah, well, it's definitely tarnished now that we know the story. Dan, just before you let you go, you was in court last Tuesday. When's the next appearance in court? What's the next stage here for Man City? So
City aren't appealing this judgment any further. So now effectively the arbitration which obliged them to hand over the documents which the Premier League have been requesting, that has now finished. They lost that arbitration. So now they are obliged to hand over the documents, and then hopefully that would then allow the ball to start rolling on the Premier League's investigation, which as we said, has been going on for 2.5 years, but doesn't seem particularly close to being resolved. So hopefully now, if Man City, we don't publicly know whether they've handed over the documents, but they have been compelled to by this arbitration, and now that should allow the Premier League to conduct the investigation that has been going on since December 2018.
Yeah, we wait to see when and where what happens in this resolution. Dan Matthews, Daily Mail reporter, thank you very, very much. Really appreciate that. So, look, worst case scenario here. So I'm chucking out the worst case scenario. If City have been seen to kind of breach financial fair play, and people start talking about removing titles they won whilst doing it, it's not fair on the players, is it?
No, it's retrospecting, taking medals from players. It's not. You can't have that. You can't have that. The players are.
But we also need a severe punishment here.
I think
you need to wield the axe if this is the case.
I think for me, it's all about looking at the club. The players are innocent here. They're playing top football. They've got nothing to do with the business side. They've got nothing to do with the account side. They've got nothing to do with the club. The players got nothing to do with the club. And that's the trouble sometimes. People from outside, want to kind of hurt the club. But then at the same time, if they can't hurt the club, they want to hurt the players. For whatever reason, financial reason sometimes, or, medal-wise. You've got nothing to do with the club. It's the accounts above. And that's where people have to realise.
Jim White and Simon Jordan, Monday to Thursday morning, 10 till 1. On AM, on DAB, via the TalkSport app and on your smart speaker. TalkSport.